Welcome to another episode of Moonwood Podcast, the podcast that brings you inspiration, motivation, and real life strategy to help you level up in life. I'm the host, Lobito, and today we are going to be talking about real estate. There is this misconception people normally have about real estate that if you don't have money, no go to real estate. To you guys get luxurious money before you go into. I have a realtor in the studio with me today, so he's going to talk more about real estate. And if you are planning to sell your land, sell your house, flip your house, you have a lot of questions in your mind, this episode is going to be the answer for everything. Mr. Balogun, please
Yeah.
introduce yourself to the audience.
First, let me clap for you. That was a great intro.
Thank you very much. Thank
So, my name is Balogun Adetola. I'm the Balogun of Eko. And Joshua Awa.
you.
I'm a
Norma.
realtor. I'm a sales advisor in real estate. Basically, anything concerning real estate, sell, buy the house, develop the house, anything related to that. Yes, I'm an expert in that. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Before we even go into question and answer, there's these
Okay.
things going on in my brain. What really inspired you to become a realtor? Because is there any story behind it, or do you just feel like
Okay.
this is my passion? Let me chase after it.
Okay. The story was initially, I was born into a family that my dad was an architect. He's an
Okay,
architect. He's an
okay,
architect.
okay,
So from that line, I had to go and study estate management. So,
okay.
I mean, immediately, I'll say from a young age, it's
Oh,
always been there. We had
oh,
books and books, but it was not really about selling real estate. It was just
okay.
about development. Because I used to go to the site, I'll see where they are making constructions. I'll
Yes,
go to the office, I'll meet various, surveyors, urban planners, and all that. So it was always from that stage. But I think the passion really came in when I finished school.
all
Because
right.
apart from the fact I started thinking, okay, what do you want to do now? Sure, you get real estate was the main thing for me, because I had started doing short let, I started trying to sell land even before leaving school. So
That's
it became
amazing.
like, okay, yes, let's do it now full time. So yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Because a lot of people have, I got a lot of DMs. There was this video that I uploaded one time like this that I'm going to give you one or two strategy that is going to help you level up in life. A lot of people are
thank
just busting my inbox that Moonward, I have some money. I want to go into real estate. I want to go into this. I want to
you.
go into that. I haven't met you that time. But
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I came across your page, I was like, this guy is doing amazing thing, and he really needs to be seen. So that is why I feel like, okay, let's work something out. And I'm grateful
Yeah.
for you, making this work out, my friend.
I'm grateful for you sending the invite and making this work. So
Yeah,
we are
so we
doing
are
a
going
good
to dive in deep into the question and answer now, right?
job.
Mr. Balogun, what is the biggest misconception stopping young people from getting into real estate?
Okay, so for the misconception stopping like young people from getting into real estate, I would say the main one is that real estate is overpriced. And you know, most people they know how to talk, but they don't know how to back it with facts. They don't know
Yes.
how to actually because they don't have an idea of what it entails to build a property or to develop a property or to buy a property. So when they just tell them it's overpriced, they just accept it because they feel that Nigeria is a third world country and no property should be sold above 100 million. So why
Mm,
so why I say it's a misconception is simple. First off, when you go to the supermarket and you want to buy bread,
okay.
bread you used to buy for 900, 1,000. You're buying it for 2,000 now. That's times two the price. But
Yeah.
you don't want real estate to, to get to how will I say it, to grow. You don't want the prices
To go
to be
higher.
like to be affected by inflation. Now, the
Oh,
truth is that most of these properties that they are saying is overpriced, is overpriced. No, it's not overpriced. It is expensive.
mm,
And real estate all over the world is expensive. There's no cheap real estate. The only way real estate can be cheap for anybody is if the government choose to do social housing.
okay.
Now, you would have to agree with me that affordability is relative,
Yes,
meaning that
yes,
there are things you can afford. It doesn't mean
yes,
that the general public can afford it.
yes,
And
you're right.
what this means is that most of these real estate companies that you are talking about, they have a targeted audience. They are
Mm,
not targeting somebody that is earning 150K per month because even if you're earning 150K per month, let's put it into retrospect. You're earning 150 per month and you want to save your money. It will take you about 30 years to even save just 30 million. So
That's
now
very
imagine,
crazy.
imagine this real estate industry now say, okay, we don't want to make loss. Let's
Okay.
put our property at 30 million. How many people can actually afford it?
Mm,
So the reality is that real estate is expensive. It is not overpriced. There are people producing different products for different people. It is a business. You can't tell a private businessman who takes his money, takes loan, buy land, does all the certification, buy iron, buy cement at outrageous prices to now set prices to suit your social need. That's the job of the government.
that's true. That's true.
So the
That's true.
reality is that real estate is expensive. We agree. But to say it's overpriced, you are telling someone that is producing something that is overpriced. That's, for me, I feel is a misconception. And I've had several messages, even from people outside the country.
All right.
I had a particular person who sent me a video and was saying, this guy is eating this thing on the, and to be honest with you, he, he went from wanting to buy property to, I don't want to buy property because he felt it was overpriced. And you have a lot of people with that ideology. So the
Mm,
misconception is kind of, it's ruining people's thoughts
yeah,
because they are
yeah.
thinking from the perspective of a consumer, not a business person.
You're right.
Now, the people complaining about is overpriced, they are the consumers because they are buying it because they want to consume. For the business people, they know how much they will benefit. I mean, we know how much a short-let property will make in a year. A short-let property can make you 23 million in a year with good management. And they are selling a property for you for, let's say,
Oops.
100.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
We are
can you
back.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you very well.
Network was bad.
So,
So as I was saying, so for me, if you say properties are overpriced, I would say they're expensive because there's always it's just like any good. The government have made social housing. The government have made PPP projects, which the aim of a PPP project is to make sure that people can afford property. There are properties of 50 million. There are properties
yes,
of 40 million.
yes,
It's
of
not
course.
compulsory for everybody to buy properties of 170 million. That
That's true.
particular,
And
it
that's
is
true.
targeted. Yes, it's
It's
targeted
for
at a
another
audience.
targeted audience. Yeah,
Audience. If you see a
yeah.
property for $2 million, they have a audience. They know who they
Definitely,
are targeting. So at
definitely,
the end of the day, saying that real estate is overpriced, to be honest, and real estate has varieties. There's commercial real estate. There is hospitality. There is,
definitely.
you can buy one plot and build on, even to build a duplex in Lagos now, 4 bedroom duplex. You'll be, see, but at the end of the day, we have to understand this concept. There's a difference between overpriced and expensive.
Expensive.
There's a difference between affordable and social housing. Affordable
Yeah,
is subjective. There are people that 170 million is affordable to them. So
definitely.
yeah, yes, and to even bring it like to make them understand better, affordable and cheap. Cheap, anybody can afford it.
Yes.
Affordable, some people can afford it, and that
Is
is the target. So I'll
that's
just say,
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I'll say that's
That
my own concept towards it. So people saying overpriced, overpriced. I mean,
is
check the
not
economy.
overpriced. It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Thank you
It's
very much.
expensive.
Um, Mr. Balogu, you know that in Nigeria, people really love free things. They don't want to take.
Yes.
They don't want to take so much risks. So where this comes, my second question: can someone really
Okay.
start in real estate with little or no money? If it's yes, how can they start without no money?
Okay. So for me, I don't feel you can start real estate with no money.
Okay.
You can start with little money, and you can start with well, you can start with no money. It depends. And let
Okay.
me explain. Now, for you to start with no money, it means that you must have a large client, like you must have a large connection base. So if you don't have money, you can have investors.
Okay.
So if you have investors, fine, they will put everything. All you just need is ideas in that
Hmm.
sense.
That's true.
But if you now want to start real estate with little money, yes, there are options. Meaning you can go into land banking. That's the basic of the basic. You can go into land banking. You can buy a land, leave it for a couple of years and sell it and double your money. All you just need to do is make research and make sure that that place has that particular potential. So that's where you can do real estate with little money. But for no money, I would say you would have to have a brilliant idea. You would have to have investors, a lot of investors.
So,
So yeah, you can
uh,
start with little money. Hello.
About the little money, like how much are we looking at if you want to go into real estate?
Okay, so for little money, you can start as low as, it depends on the kind of place. Okay, let me
Okay,
let me give you a case study. So imagine that you want to invest in Osun State,
all
and
right,
your goal is to build. Okay, you want to make money from Osun State, and your goal is to build hostels,
all
because you
right,
know that in Osun State, for example, if you have Obafemi Awolowo University, you can
yes,
get land as low as 600 to 1 million.
at Osun
So it
State,
depends. Yes, at Osun State, it depends. Then when you've gotten that land, you started with little money.
yes, yes,
When you've
yes.
now gotten that land, that's where the investor comes in. Now, once you have the land, it has a location. You can now start looking for investors that, okay, how can I get investors to buy this idea? How can I get people to invest in developing a hostel that will make them so amounts every year? So you see,
Mm,
in the real sense of that, you started with little money, little or
yes,
no money, because
yeah,
all you did is you bought the land. You now went
yes,
to find people to invest.
yes,
So
of
that is
course.
so in what I'm just basically trying to say is little money it depends, it varies. You can go to one city now or one maybe let's say Jebode, and you buy an acre at 50 K. Then the government just throws one policy there, and in 2 years the land goes up. Do you understand? Or they
Yeah,
build, or they build a train station, or they build good roads. So it's dependent on what It depends on what the little money. It varies. Let me put it
it's
this way.
very, it's not really part of it.
Yes, it's not. There's no. This is the actual little money, but you know what we mean by little money. This
Yes,
to you
yes,
that
of
money.
course, of course, of
Yes,
course.
this to you
That's
that money,
amazing.
because there are still places you can get properties for as low as 100. You can get land as low as 100K. There are places in
Definitely,
Nigeria.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it
That's
depends on
amazing. You
yes,
really
what you're trying
want. It
to.
depends on what you really want. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's
no
perfect.
money. That's no money
Now,
own.
no money. It's very risky.
That is that I say you want to start business. You don't have money. Are you
Money.
whining?
How? You need to
Exactly.
have a capital. At
You have to have
least.
something.
You have to
Yes.
have
Even
something.
even if you want to talk to investors, maybe you will buy clothes, you will look nice,
Yes,
you would reach the place, you would do proposals, you would do feasibility and viability studies, you would do a lot of things. So you still need
definitely.
money. You need
Definitely.
money.
So, Mr. Balogun, we were talking about investing with no money or little, you understand?
Yeah.
So, the next
Okay.
question is based on how important is location when starting with a capital, with a small capital, and what should people look for when they want to
Okay.
invest with a small capital?
Okay. So for me, whether small or little or big, location is for real estate. Location is
Okay.
the number one.
All right.
Because you can't say you want to develop a commercial, let's use a commercial property now, and you now want to develop it inside a place where there's no commercial activity. So you
Mm,
have to, yes, you have to consider, okay, does the place have a market? So most commercial properties are mostly developed around the market or around the place where commercial activities are happening. It could
okay,
be
yes.
offices. So if you want to develop office now, you go to a place where they have maybe VI,
Yes.
places where they are, you go understand. So whether low, whether high, budget, location is in fact the number one priority for any real estate. You need to consider location first.
Okay.
So then considering what to look out for,
Yes.
basically what to look out for is dependent on what the person aims to achieve. Although there are some basics like, okay, what kind of government policy favors that place, or what kind of government development is in that place, or what kind of main factory, what kind of leisure activity, what kind of beach, those kind
Yes.
of things you can consider.
Yeah.
But it is not a general thing. It depends on what you want to achieve. Sure, you understand. So
Definitely. Definitely.
for let's say in Aja now, let's say you want to do a short for example. So the location for that kind of property most times will be, and is an airport close to the place.
Mm,
Yes, do you have a beach? Because you have people flying in every day. So if you have people flying in every day and you can market properly, you already have a target market. You understand?
yes. Yes. Yes.
So you look at the beach too. December people come home, even before December. People still. People still how will I say? People still I don't know how to put it. People still go to the beach on weekends.
Like
So if you do that,
vacation, you know?
yes, vacation example. So if you do that and you have a shortlet around that place, people would automatically book your shortlet apartment because they will be
Mm.
interested and you already have a ready market. All you need to do is market to those people. And thank God now online marketing has made it easier. Sure you
Yeah,
understand?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yes, so location is very important. Location is the number one. Be it you have money, you don't have money. And if you are looking out for features of the place, it's dependent. It's dependent. But most times people try to look out for potentials. What will this land become in the next 5 years? What will this land become
Mm, that's true.
in the next
That's
5 years?
true.
So, for example, this Ibejuleki now, where you have the airport, the government has signed an MOU that, okay, oh, let's start developing and let's invest in the Lekki trade zone and all that. There are so many, So, but most times you look at potential. Either you have money, you don't have money, location, and what is the potential of that location? What can I
Definitely.
achieve from this location? So that's what I'll say.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, Mr. Balogun, a lot of
Yes.
people. Do you know the why I feel that always shun people that doesn't know more about a business, but because Mr. A is doing it and progressing well,
Mm.
and they want to do it, is greediness. What are the three costly mistakes beginners make, and how can they avoid them?
Okay. So this is a common question because I mean, for a large percentage that starts real estate, not all, but a lot of people make mistakes. And I would say the number one mistake a lot of people make is they don't carry out due diligence. They don't do
Hmm.
research. So
Hmm.
I mean, you want to buy a land and you say, my uncle says he has a land in one place. Just go there and say, okay. And you don't carry out research. You don't check if the land is actually, free. You don't contact your scheme officer. You don't go to the land bureau to know that, okay, is this land actually not government land? Is this land not actually cutting across the road? So
Hmm.
that's one problem, not carrying out due diligence. And as funny as it might sound, you will be surprised that a lot of first time buyers don't worry, they just let's you get
Let's
what I'm
just buy
saying.
it.
So that's a like key and very important part, not carrying out due diligence. Then number two would be working with people that don't know their own. Now you can have somebody come and tell you, I have one. There are a lot of people marketing. There are a
Yes, of
lot, and
course.
I'm not
Yes.
trying to throw anybody under the bus, but there is a handful of people that you work with. You don't know their capability. You don't know what
Yeah.
they've done. You
Yeah.
know, I'm lucky. I'm lucky, or I'm blessed to work with people that know their onions. Most of the people I've worked with, they know what they are doing. They know where they are going. So you have to ensure that whoever you are working with is not just speaking big English or grammar. He actually
Hmm.
understands what he does. He
That's
knows where to go. So
yeah.
that's very important. Then I'll say number three is more like just outrightly, trusting somebody
What do you say
because
again?
just outrightly trusting somebody without the person,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
saying without, okay, it's my uncle Jari, it's my brother, so the reason I'm saying that is because when you do that, it can come back to bite you because if the person now takes your money for vanishing, what happens? What happens? It means that, there is nothing you can do about it. So in
Yeah.
that case, you need to ensure that you don't just trust. You
Yeah,
need to
okay.
ensure that the person you are working with is, up to standard. Then
Yeah.
you also need to make sure that your research, you carry out due
Is
diligence, you carry out research. It's very important. It's
thank
very
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How can partnership or joint venture help people or someone break into real estate?
okay. So partnership is very essential because before I start going into the different type of partnership. Partnership can help you take part of the burden. Meaning instead of you spending all the money on the project, you can break it down. You can partner, maybe you're a developer, you can partner with a construction company, which means that
Yeah.
the cost of construction goes down. You're not paying for expertise. That means that you'll be bringing the expertise and all that. So there are different types of partnership. There's the joint venture, which is mostly targeted at making profit. Then there's the PPP, that's public-private projects,
Okay.
public-private partnership, in the sense that the state government or the government will come and partner with the private sector, the
Okay.
developer, to provide houses at a very low price. So those are the two partnerships. But partnership is very important because it helps you mitigate risk. Meaning, if you are looking at spending maybe 100 million or a billion naira on the project, when you are partnering, that means you are breaking down the cost between two parties. So it's just like normal, a normal two people thing. Two people coming together to do something. It takes down the burden of that project from one and the other. So they come together and there's a balance. You don't have to
That.
spend so much. You are sharing the risk. You are sharing the
Yeah.
very. It's very key. It's good. It's a
That's
good. It's a good. It's a good way to go about developing projects. Very, very, very.
um one question pops into my mind is something for you.
Okay.
What is the biggest property you've ever sell out to? Like, what's the biggest property you've ever sell out?
Um. Okay. I would say the biggest property I've ever sold in my life is land. So it's not even the houses that you've done and all that. And I would say it was just about because it was a joint thing. So we had like various property and various local realtors. So then I was still into the local markets. There's the
Okay.
local realtor, there is the ones that works for developers.
Okay.
So we had to set about 1 acre and we
Okay.
had to share the around 1 acre. That's the biggest. Then I've handled projects like doing lets, like being the agent to let out a property. Like in Lupeju, there's a particular property there that was developed, and we had to find somebody to rent it.
Okay.
And then I got into short lets. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
that's my strength. Like I got into short let, I was able to help a couple of people book apartments. So yeah, those are the biggest projects I've done.
Something even bigger than your imagination is coming soon, my friend.
Amen.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. What are some underrated real estate strategies that people overlook?
Getting an investor. Getting
Hmm.
an investor. Because a lot of people can't afford properties, but they forget that they have ideas. And you having ideas is the key, is the power. You being able to pitch to the right parties to say, okay, come and invest. That's one. Another strategy is crowdfunding. You don't need to do it all alone. You can look for your friends, come together, crowdfund, do a project. So those two strategies are something, because of the nature of Nigerians, we don't
Yeah,
always want together. So those two, getting an investor and crowdfunding, those two are very, very, they are very, very effective if you work with the right audience or right people.
that's amazing. How can someone build credit or leverage others people money to invest?
Okay, it still goes to getting an investor. If you have a good investor that is willing to buy your idea, I mean, you're already leveraging on his credit,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
of
leveraging
course.
on
Yeah.
his money. Then another way you can do it is this to buy. If you know you can't afford to pay outrightly to buy the
Okay.
land, you can use it at first. Use
Okay.
it to start what you want to start. Then sign an agreement with the person that okay, this particular agreement is going to this particular agreement is going to be that after a particular amount of years, you
All right.
understand, you will you get you would now pay for the land. So you could use that time to now gather the money from maybe buying the land. If you want to maybe you want to start a restaurant or you
Okay.
want to
Okay.
start a outlet, then you can now over time make money and pay for the property. So it's something people practice, lease to own or lease to buy.
In this Nigeria, lease to buy.
Yes, people do. It. Yes, you lease the land for a long period of time. The person will agree. And when he agrees, you will now, for that period of time, you use it. You would have agreed that, okay, after this period of time, this is how much I'll pay to buy this land. They will agree and you pay. So
Eh.
there
So
are
here
different
come
types
here
of,
here comes this last question. If
okay.
someone has zero knowledge but want to own a property in the next 1 to 3 years, what exact steps should they take today?
Gather knowledge. There is no, see, real estate is so complex that if you do not gather knowledge or work with the right person, there's nothing you can do. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people don't even know there's something called commercial property. Some people just believe property is buy house. Do you understand? So some people believe real estate is just buy house, buy land. But there are a lot of some people they build petrol station and rent it out. Some
I
people will
don't I
build.
don't know about that one.
No, people, there are some people that they will build a petrol station and
Wow.
rent it out.
Wow.
Yes, there are some people that they will build shopping mall and go and get a franchise and the shop right, for
Yeah.
example. Yes, or rent
Yeah.
a shop for a particular, So there are different types of real estate. So you need to get knowledge. Then the other way you can now do it is, okay, let's say you don't have knowledge, get a trusted realtor, somebody that you call in the night, who can advise you, can talk to you, can teach you, can guide you. So those are the two ways.
That's
Get
amazing.
knowledge or get somebody that knows his onions.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I just really want to say big thanks to Mr. Balogun. And you can reach out to Mr. Balogun on all social platform. Balogun of Eco on all social platform. I really appreciate him joining my podcast. You understand? So if you're still having this thought, you want to flip your house, you want to go into real estate. Do I need big money? Do I need to start small? How can I bring investor? This episode gives you every answer you're seeking for. This episode gives you everything a consultant is going to give to you as well. So tell a friend to tell a friend that Mobile Podcast is the home of second chances to every youth in Nigeria and beyond. Thank you very much. Until the next time.
Moonward talk, moonword 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 talk. Yeah, we be the truth, be that light in the dark, let the vibe come through. Growth mindset, mind check. Yeah, we break the mold. Had to hustle, build some struggle, turn that pain into gold. Episode done, but the grind don't stop. Scraps in, tap in, let's rise to the top.